After hearing from an alternate juror in the Lori Vallow trial just a week ago in Idaho, the former Valley mom was found guilty of murder in the deaths of her two kids and conspiracy to kill the wife of her lover and now husband.
Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum spoke to the juror about the experience that she will never forget. He joins us live now with more. Justin.
And John, Christina, you can imagine about 7 weeks ago, these jurors, 18 of them, could not predict what they would see and hear inside the courtroom. Courtroom 400 in Boise, Idaho. They met the so-called Doomsday Mom, Lori Vallow, and watched her nearly every day as the state brought massive evidence in the triple murder case.
I was really hoping it wasn't my number.
After nearly 5 weeks of hearing testimonies from 60 different witnesses, Tiffany, or Juror 17, was randomly chosen to be an alternate, still mentally and emotionally invested in the case of Lori Vallow, who is now a convicted murderer. Was there a testimony that stood out to you, and by who?
Probably the more emotional testimonies that stood out to me was her son Colby and her sister, just listening to them talking to her in jail and how emotional they were. And she's destroyed so much around her.
For Tiffany, the most difficult part was seeing graphic photos of Lori's children, JJ and Tylee, after their bodies were found buried in Chad Daybell's backyard.
And I started crying when they brought in the tissues, because I'm like, I knew immediately when they brought in the tissues and the plastic bags that they were going to show the pictures.
JJ was wrapped in plastic and duct tape. Tylee's remains burned and unrecognizable.
She was done such a disservice that the fact that they just didn't have very much evidence for her, you know, I just can't. I still can't. And this is going to affect me for the rest of my life, thinking about that.
Thinking through the religious beliefs, prosecutors say Lori shared with her husband about doomsday and dark spirits to justify murder. Tiffany recalls seeing wedding photos of Lori and Chad in Hawaii.
That truly showed what a monster this woman is.
And she understands why the defense pinned the blame on Chad in closing arguments after not calling one witness.
I thought to myself, geez, you know, that should have come a long time ago. You know, that should have been maybe your defense all along.
Do you think you will ever personally experience something like this in society ever again?
I don't, and I hope not.
And we also talked about how Tiffany would decide on all counts on the verdict form, specifically the charge of conspiracy to commit the murder of Tammy Daybell. To see the full interview, head to our Fox 10 Phoenix YouTube channel or our website, fox10phoenix.com/Vallow. Live in the studio, Justin Lum, Fox 10 News.